Hi, welcome to Moina Bass Fishes. I'm Jim Moina. We are talking about the second day of practice here at the 2023 MLF Tacklewarehouse Invitational on Lake Eufaula. The Lake Eufaula that's in Oklahoma. There are two Lake Eufaulas. This one where I'm at now in Oklahoma, and then the other one is in Alabama. I fished one in Alabama a couple of times. First time ever for this one. So, anyways, we've got 2 days of practice in the books. We get one more tomorrow. Then we have an off day, and then the tournament starts on Friday. I'm sitting in 22nd place in the angle of the year points out of 150. The goal is being the top 8, because if I make the top 8 at the end of the year, then I move up to the next level, and that would be the Bass Pro Tour. That's where I want to be. That's why I'm fishing these tournaments. That's the goal. We got some work to do. All right. As far as practice goes, boy, today was this absolutely beautiful day. Sunny, calm, just really just an awesome day, man. I just loved being out there in my boat. It was just sweet. It's the kind of fishing day that you always hope for. So it was nice, very nice. As far as the fishing goes, it seems like I'm starting to clue in on a few things here. And in fact, just when I think I've got something dialed in, then all of a sudden there's another wrinkle that I discover. So it's kind of interesting to see what's going on here. It's such a weird lake. You have entire basins of this lake that is nothing but standing timber, and you got to idle through like multiple miles through these basins. Otherwise, you risk taking out a low unit or something. So it's just really interesting. And then other parts of the lake, there's no standing timber. It's just weird. Why did they leave it in one place and take it out of another place? I don't know, but it's really interesting. By the way, this is a really good crappie lake. That's what everybody's telling me, and I actually caught a few crappies this evening by accident. So apparently there must be a lot of them, because when you start catching them on bass lures, then you know there's a lot of crappies. Anyways, so yeah, and then the water clarities, it's really weird. The water clarity differs in weird ways out here, and I think it's because you start with a clear, clear. Now, when I say clear out here, I'm talking maybe 1.5 foot water clarity, maybe 2 feet max. But if you got a basin that's got that water clarity, and then a big rain comes in, well, then that rain will muddy up. That mud will like move up the lake or down the lake, and it'll muddy up the areas that are like intermediate areas that are in between the dam and the upriver part. And then if you don't get any more rain, all of a sudden it'll start clearing up behind the mud that's moving through. So you can go from clear to mud and then slightly clear again. It's kind of interesting how that works. And there's multiple major arms to this lake. This lake's really an interesting lake. It's not quite like anything else that I know of. It would probably be most similar to other Oklahoma lakes, probably. If you take a look at Texoma, take a look at Grand, this lake is kind of has some characteristics that those lakes have. But it's a really cool lake. And the water fluctuations, we got like a steady pool right now. It's like at the normal pool, which puts the bushes, there's a lot of bushes in this lake, and if the lake comes up, it floods those bushes, and they can be a big player. But right now, the bushes are maybe that deep of water or dry. So the outermost, which would be the deepest bushes once it floods, literally maybe that much at the most. So, but it ain't gonna be a bush bite because not, and that's the thing. When the water's high, a lot of these coves would have just tons of cover to flip. But with the water where it is now, you go into some of these coves and there's nothing to cast at, like nothing. There's so much dirt. So much of the shoreline out here is just flat dirt and just sand. Just, the kind of stuff that's not going to hold anything. So the cover out here is, it's kind of limited. You have standing timber, you have boat docks, you have this shallow kind of straw kind of grass that's super shallow. It's almost too shallow. If you need like another 8 inches on that stuff, and it would be way better. And then rock and gravel and pea gravel. So that's, and maybe a token lay down here and there. So that's kind of what you're dealing with. And there's not any aquatic vegetation whatsoever. There's not submergent grass. There's not emergent grass. It is just barren of that kind of stuff. So rock, gravel, pea gravel, that straw kind of stuff, and docks. That's what you got. That's what you got to deal with. So, and in a way, it makes it easy, but it doesn't make it easy. And then I think there's a lot of suspended fish out here too. From what I can tell, it sure seems to be like there is. But anyways, I'm starting to hone in on what I want to be doing out here. I got another day to practice tomorrow. I'm gonna maybe change a few variables and try to see if I can still get bit in certain different scenarios. So, but I like the way the lake's fishing. I like what I'm finding out. I like what I'm learning. Now the quality bites still are kind of, you don't know where you're gonna get them, and there's not enough of them. But but hey, just keep grinding away. It's one of those grind tournaments. And the fish are probably spawning right now, or at least some of them. But dang, this lake is there's just not a good enough visibility to actually bed fish and sight fish. So that's going to be a minimal player. There will be spawning fish being caught in this tournament by guys who are just casting up to the shoreline, and a spawner, they cast just out of coincidence, they cast it near a bed, and the fish grabs it. So there'll be plenty of those types of fish caught. And anyways, what else? By the way, what I don't understand, the last thing I gotta note is there's like 3 gas stations by where I'm that are accessible, or close by to where I'm at, and they're all charging like $3.96, $3.94 per gallon, whereas all these other gas stations are $3.20, maybe a little higher, a little lower. But why are these 3 gas stations just so outrageously priced? But it's not worth it for me to drive further to one of these other gas stations with lower prices. But I don't get it. How can they possibly get people to come and buy gas? I mean, they got me to come and buy gas, but that's because I'm trying to save time. I don't want to drive another 10, 15 minutes to get cheaper gas, because that time is valuable to me, because I need to get back here, eat, record videos, and so forth. But anyhow, that's enough for this video, and thanks for watching. And we will come out with another video tomorrow. Over.